Welcome to Breaking Pulse. I'm your host, and today we are talking about some absolutely huge news in the world of Star Wars gaming. And look, this isn't just another update or some small announcement. This is the kind of reveal that happens maybe once a decade, and it has sent a massive shockwave of pure excitement across the entire fan community. It's a story about a legend coming back, a promise finally being kept, and a hope that a lot of us thought was long gone.
It's a totally fair question, right? I mean, we get new Star Wars games all the time. So what makes this one different? Why is the internet collectively freaking out over this specific announcement? Well, we're going to break it all down for you. And hey, if you're excited to find out, do us a favor and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for Breaking Pulse so you never miss an explainer like this one. So, it all started at the Game Awards 2025. If you don't know, that's basically the Oscars for video games. The whole industry is watching. And right at the very beginning of the show, with zero leaks, no rumors, not a single hint beforehand, they just dropped a trailer. And it immediately got everyone's attention. In an age where everything leaks, this was a genuine, honest-to-goodness surprise. And the reaction was just instant. Media outlets knew right away how big of a deal this was. This wasn't just some trailer to get the show warmed up. This was a statement. This was Lucasfilm Games kicking off the industry's biggest night with a reveal that fans haven't just wanted, they've been dreaming about for years.
So what was it? The big reveal was a brand new game called Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic. And get this, it's being developed by a completely new company, Arcanaut Studios. Now, a new studio getting to work in one of the most beloved eras of Star Wars? That's a huge vote of confidence from Lucasfilm. And it immediately makes you ask the question, who are these people?
Now, to really get why everyone is so hyped, you gotta focus on those two words, Old Republic. For fans who've been around for a while, that name is, well, it's legendary. It's more than just a time period, it's a promise. It connects this new game directly to one of the most beloved, most critically acclaimed video games of all time.
The original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR as everyone calls it, was a landmark game back in 2003. It wasn't just great, it totally changed what we thought a Star Wars story could be. It gave you real power. Your choices didn't just change a line of dialogue, they shaped your character's soul. You could go to the light side or fall to the dark side based on your actions. For so many of us, it was the first time it felt like we were truly living our own Star Wars story.
And that's really the heart of all this excitement. For more than 20 years, fans have been desperate for a true, single-player follow-up. And that desire has only gotten stronger because the modern KOTOR remake has had, well, a really rough time in development. It's been delayed, it's switched studios, it's just been silent for years. So this new announcement, it feels like an answer to a lot of fans' prayers.
So here's the crucial part. The name and the era are only half the story. The other half, the part that turned this from just exciting news into a no way this is actually happening announcement, is the person who's leading this new project. Because it turns out this isn't just some new game set in the Old Republic, it's a project led by the person who started it all.
Yes, Casey Hudson, the original project director for KOTOR, is back. After he made one of the greatest Star Wars games ever, he went on to create and direct the entire classic Mass Effect trilogy, another series famous for amazing characters and stories that you, the player, get to drive. The man is a master of this genre. So him coming back to the Old Republic, well, that's pretty much the biggest reason to believe this game is going to be something special.
And you can just tell from his own words, this isn't just another gig for him. He has a real, personal connection to this world. I mean, think about that. He's the guy who built the thing that we all fell in love with 2 decades ago. He knows what made it tick, and now he's back with his own studio to build on that foundation. This is a passion project, for sure.
All right, so the mastermind is back in the driver's seat. So what does that mean for the actual game? What do we know for sure about Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic? Let's dig into the confirmed details and see what clues we can find. Okay. First thing to know, Lucasfilm is being very careful with their words here. They're calling it a spiritual successor, not a sequel. What that means is we probably shouldn't expect KOTOR 3. And you know what? That might actually be a good thing. It lets the developers tell a completely new story without being tied down to old plot points. The goal here isn't to continue the old saga, but to give us that same amazing feeling of choice and consequence in a brand new adventure.
And these confirmed points, they're basically a checklist of everything fans have been asking for. Number 1, a single-player game. In a world of online multiplayer, that's a huge commitment to storytelling. Narrative-driven means the story comes first.
Choices will shape your destiny. That's the KOTOR DNA right there. And a new story with new characters means everyone can jump in, whether you're an old fan or a total newcomer.
And that short teaser gave us a few more tasty little details. First off, it looks gorgeous. It's being built in Unreal Engine 5. But more importantly for fans, it's packed with little nods to the original. We see what looks like a classic three-person party, even with a droid, which was a huge part of KOTOR's gameplay, and the whole thing takes place on an Interdictor-class cruiser, a ship that hardcore fans will recognize immediately. It's one of those deep-cut details that proves the new team really knows their stuff.
So the hype is absolutely massive, and for good reason. We all have every right to be excited. But like with any big announcement this early on, it's probably a good idea to just take a deep breath. We need to manage our expectations and look at the reality of the situation.
Because as awesome as all of this sounds, there is a very big catch that we really need to talk about. The dream is real, but it's also pretty far away, and it's important to be realistic about it.
This right here. This quote from an interview on the official Star Wars website is the key. Early stages. In the world of game development, that doesn't mean it's coming out next year. It means they're still figuring out the core concepts. This isn't a game that's a year or two away. Multiple sources have confirmed that this journey has really only just started, which means we are probably years away from actually playing it.
So let's just lay it all out here. The hype is we're getting a KOTOR-style game from its original visionary. That's incredible. But the reality is, it's being made by Arcanaut, a brand new studio that has everything to prove. The hype is, we're returning to this amazing era of Star Wars. But the reality is, no release window was even hinted at, which means we have a long, long wait ahead.
So is this the one? Is this the Star Wars RPG a whole new generation has been waiting for? The pieces are all there, right? The right creator, the right era, and the right focus on story and choice. This game has all the potential in the world to be legendary. But the road to get there is long. The legend has returned, but the next chapter is still being written. Thanks for watching this explainer from Breaking Pulse. What do you think about this huge announcement? Is the hype real? Let us know what you think down in the comments below.